Probably not the most comprehensive video I've ever done, but this is a 2015 Honda Civic. The reason I said not as comprehensive, just a quick walk around because this is my mummy's car. Well, not anymore, but this was her car, and it's for sale now because she has a different car now. So I'm going to put up some pictures on the web, and someone's probably going to ask us more, and I'll just direct them to this video, so it might be useful. So this car is originally owned by Honda Ireland back in 2015. They had it for 6 months as a demonstrator on their fleet. I had a local customer that bought it then, and he kept it, and then in 2019 he traded it in for a Honda HR-V, and my own mammy bought it then. So she kept it in pretty good condition. So throughout the car, to be fair, the body is good and straight. Being completely honest, there is a couple of small little chips on the back bumper, and it's hard to see today because it's rainy, but there's a little bit of light scratching on this, not dented, but a little bit of light scratching along that quarter panel there. I wouldn't paint it. I might try and get someone to buff it before it goes out, but I know it won't disappear totally, but it's light enough that I don't think it would stop someone buying the car. Other than that, that's only a bit of dirt. Other than that, I would say for a 2015 Civic, I think it might be one of the best ones for sale in the country right now because the mileage is low and the condition's very nice. I put it through an NCT this week, so it's NCT 1226. The mileage at this time is 112,000 kilometers. This was a 1.6 diesel sport, which meant front fogs, obviously the nicer facelift that came in late 2015 with the nicer headlights and bigger, fatter bumper, and 16-inch wheels. I do prefer the 17-inch wheels. However, the 16-inch wheels, they do ride better and they are more economical as well. On the rear then, it came with the nicer, bigger spoiler from 2015 onwards, and the bigger kind of black sort of diffuser along the rear, tinted window along the rear sensors. These were stupidly reliable and economical. At the time, I got my mother a boot liner, and also I got her a spare wheel because they don't come standard with a spare wheel. If you take spare wheel out, then you can have a really deep boot. But I would go as far as saying that boot is in good condition. Like the way, even when they were designing these at the time, these were to get air to deflect off the side. The spoiler helped with that, the shape down the back. It was all for aerodynamics. In through here, very rarely she would have had some of our children, as in her grandchildren, in the back of the car sometimes, but reasonably seldom. 3 headrests, 3-point safety belts, and then when the headrest is, when the safety belt is off, they fold up and they stay up if you want to put something awkward in the car, or then obviously the seats fold down as well. Conditions really nice. What I like about these is a little bit more simple. These do not give the same kind of trouble you see on the modern diesels. Modern diesels with some things like DPFs, AdBlue. It does have a diesel particulate filter, they just don't seem to be troublesome on them from this time. When these cars were made, they were about efficiency, not so much about emissions. I know that's not always a good thing these days, but back then, for a user experience, for the customer, less trouble, more fuel economy, and good power. 300 newton meters of torque on these as well. So the 2.2 at 340 newton meters, the 1.6 at 300, so it actually wasn't too far behind. They're actually fun to drive. So condition quite nice. Sport, like we were saying then, front and rear sensors, fog lights on the outside, usual stuff, electrics for windows and mirrors, and then the normal Civic setup, so big rev counter in through here. One thing I really liked on this car, I know this is such a stupid thing, see the way the indicators are up there, kind of in your eye line when you're overtaking things at night time. That sounds like absolute waffle, but genuinely I like the way this display is with these here and this up here. IMID for average speed, fuel efficiency. These cars are usually kind of 4.5 to 5.5 litres per 100 kilometres, so that's kind of 60 to 70 mile per gallon range. Not an exaggeration. I've sold enough of these, I've driven them for years. That is what they do. They're one of the best cars on fuel in terms of diesel that I ever sold anyway. Forgot to hoover in here. So you had points there for, that's a touch-up kit or something, is it? No, don't know what that is. HDMI, 2 USBs, drinks holders in through there, 12 volt outlet in through here, different temperatures on each side of the car, reverse camera up through there. Not Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so to be fair, it doesn't have nav, doesn't have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now I'm sure people these days can probably unlock those screens to install that kind of stuff, but just as a factory setup they don't. Cruise control and Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff down through there. Sorry, cruise control, Bluetooth, and then controls for this up through here. So anyway, I do need to sell the car as a private sale. It's too old to put through the garage. It is 10 years, going on 11 years actually, old car. Just like we were saying, actually the mileage right now is 112, and then the service history is complete. So we did most of it, and then when it got a little bit older, a good friend of mine who has his own company serviced it for my mother then. So Honda themselves, Honda in Kildare, which is us, Honda in Kildare, and then John who did most of the recent servicing on it, and then we did one as well at one point, I think when John was on holidays, something like that. So manuals are all there. So it's a real genuine, in my opinion, and this is a sales pitch, yes, but it's a good example of one. Right, what we'll do is we'll go for a quick drive in the car, if that's okay. So the car will be sold from the point of view, I can't do finance, I can't do warranties or anything like that. This is a private sale of my mother's car. So if that's not something that suits you, absolutely fair enough. But I think, to be fair, if it was on a dealer forecourt, it would be more expensive than what I'm asking for it as well. So I think I'm reflecting that in the price. Anyway, let's go for a quick drive. To drive these cars, the thing I liked about them was the engine performance. So there was good kind of torque in them. I liked where the gear shifter was, and actually there was a solid back axle in these, which technically is usually not associated with the sporty kind of drive, but I drove these on a lot of back roads over the years. They are fun to drive, they're light, they handle well, and then in terms of, I suppose, fuel efficiency was always the big thing. At the time when this car came out, we were after recession, fuel efficiency was a big deal. But acceleration, there's good power in it as well, but yeah, that was the big thing at the time. Everyone was pushing fueling economy, and these were super frugal. So anyway, there you have it. For somebody that wants a very, well, in my opinion, very reliable, economical diesel car that doesn't have any of the modern AdBlue issues and all that kind of stuff that you see on a lot of modern diesels now. There can't be too many cars that are less than 10,000 euros with, in my opinion, low mileage for the year left in the market, that you could drive the wheels off for 4 or 5 years and still actually have something that's worth 3 or 4 grand at the end. And the great thing about these, or this car, or anything that's like this car, they came from a time where the emissions controls weren't as tough and the cars were more robust. They had less issues because the way gas and carbon was processed, yeah, fair enough, they probably pollute more, but they're probably less troublesome because of it. So if somebody wanted a main car or a second car in the house or whatever it is, in around 10 grand budget, they want something diesel, something fuel efficient, I think it's going to be a great car for someone. I mean, mother got on really well with it. I sold a lot of these, I get on really well with them. Of course, things can break down, absolutely 100%, it's a man-made machine. But the probabilities on those are reasonably low. If you drive them right, if you service them right, keep the oil change regularly and all that kind of stuff, that's critical. And look after the car right then, and they're generally quite good. If you have a problem that's less common, as the car gets older, I'd expect some sensor somewhere will probably go. The most common ones, things like air-fuel ratio sensors or soot sensors sometimes. Air conditioners can give trouble sometimes. DPFs not so much. Turbos and all that kind of stuff not so much, so you'd be fairly unlucky. And there's a good service history on it, so the odds are in your favour. I can't do a warranty on this car, can't put it through the garage, it's too old. Normally we'd be selling that car to an independent trader, but it's my mummy's car, so I'm going to sell it privately. But you're more than welcome to bring anyone you want, look around it, get stuck into it, I'll put up and around, whatever you want to know, no problem at all. And yeah, so if it's of interest, give us a shout, and hopefully the car's of interest, and thanks for watching.